So I need to move to myครับนี่มันไม่รู้แต่ว่าไอตัวอันนี้ก็ไม่ขึ้นเหมือนกันอ่ะอันนี้ผมไม่เอา
Test. Well, Pete, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sounds good.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Hi, everyone, and welcome to our full moon meditation session tonight here in October. We're actually getting close to the end of the year. Can you believe it? 2024 is getting close to the end. Streaming to you from the Georgia Meditation Center. We always start off with a quote. So if someone can give me a number anywhere from 5 to like 110, please. Thank you, 33. Thank you, Holly. All right, so let's see what we have in store today. Our words of wisdom. All right, so 33. Bear with me. Let me get it. Okay, 33. Oh, actually 33 is 2 pages. So this is going to from the title. It says universal suffering. Someone may want this, but get that. We choose our spouse because we think we will love each other forever. At the beginning, it is sweet, but then it changes through time. Everyone has to face something. We do not love an animal and things. Separation is an ordinary element of life, and suffering is universal for every living being. The Buddha found the way out, and whoever follows his practice to attain the ultimate peace will become acknowledged, awakened, and overwhelmed. When we know our own story, awake from this matrix, the mind will be joyful and peaceful as a result. So thank you so much, Holly, for that. All right, so you guys, streaming from, I'm joined from different parts. It's always very interesting to find out where you're listening from. So if you can let us know, we'd appreciate that. Thank you so much. With regards to our will be special simplicity, candle lighting, followed by meditation, loving kindness, and then Q&A. With regards to our teaching monk, we're going to have Monk Daniel guiding us today. A little bit about Monk Daniel is he ordained in 2012 and has been teaching his life to his passion, which is meditation, and sharing his knowledge to people from all over the world. So without further ado, let's welcome Monk Jackie. I'm sorry, Monk Daniel this month.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me clearly? Had some technical difficulties. It's good to have the chance to come and talk to everyone again about the special simplicity that I wanted to share with you. It's also an auspicious day for Buddhists because it's the end of the 3-month Lent season for us, which is a season for us for monks to stay in one place, and usually it's kind of like New Year's resolution, but for 3 months. So you make a wish or make a dedication for, what in these 3 months is something that you can improve on yourself and put in the time and effort for that. So it's a very special full moon as well for not just this opportunity, but also for Buddhists as well. And for us, it's also a good time. So I would like to see if there's anyone new coming or from the different centers. So from Georgia, okay, I see Georgia. Anyone, is this your first time meditating or your first time joining the full moon? Could you please raise your hand? Okay, we have a couple first. Okay, that's good. Welcome. I'm so happy to have the opportunity to share with you some of the core knowledge, and I hope it will help you to meditate easier for sure. Is the next center? Okay, we have Asusa. Oh, outside. Maybe it's not nighttime just yet, but that's okay to come out. But for now, anyone from Asusa, is it your first time? Could you please raise your hand? Okay, there's a couple. One, I think. Okay. Okay. So welcome. Anyone else from any other center? Okay. Whether it's your first time or maybe many of us have been coming many times. I see some familiar faces. So the good thing is whether it's your first time or the people who are coming and joining often, what I'm sharing to you, it may be a similar topic that you may have heard from myself and Monk Jackie often, but it's good to remind you on this because as the topic today is about special simplicity, because in meditation, it shouldn't be something as hard. And everyone here who is coming for your first time, I want you to understand that meditation, it should be simple, but when it's simple, something special happens. In life, there's so many things that's complicated, and meditation is not one of those things. So don't make meditation one of those like over complicated or difficult task like something else we are used to. Meditation should be easy, it should be simple, but what happens is profound and special inside of you. Because like the full moon tonight in Azusa, right? It's not nighttime yet, but it doesn't mean the full moon isn't out there. Or like for me right now in Thailand, it's the morning. The full moon is on the other side, but it doesn't mean it's not shining or it's not there. It's always there, every day, every stage, right? And sometimes we don't see it as a full moon as well, but it's still a full moon. It's just that we see it in different stages. So in meditation, it's very similar to the fact that we have something special inside of you. It's always been there, but we are at different stages and different timing that we don't see what's already inside of us or feel what's already inside of us. So the key thing right now is how can we access what's already inside of us? The key word, it's already inside of us. So we don't have to try very hard. We don't have to look very far. We just need to do it in the right way and it will happen. It's just like a heart. Your heart is inside of you. Your brain is inside of you. Your organs are inside of you. So you don't have to worry, where is it? What we're looking for is inside of us already. So I want to share with you this simple message again. For some of us, it's a review, but also it's something that we have to ask ourselves, are we actually applying this to our meditation and in our practice? Okay. So one of our great meditation masters, Luang Pu, he said that stop is the key to success. So it's 6 simple words, but it's something that if you can remember this and apply it during your meditation, and actually it's a message for in life in general, it can help you a lot to get success or bring you to success. And the thing is, how can we stop our mind is the key thing. How can we make it still and calm down so that we can react out of a moment, out of a place of stillness, of peace, of relaxation, and when out of a place of positivity or in a different perspective. So that helps us to bring us success. So if you can't remember anything tonight, I hope you can remember these 6 words because it's a good reminder, a good mantra to keep in mind. Maybe even something you can put up in your house in the future is stop is the key to success. Put it on your refrigerator or put it on your desk at work or something to remind you that, we're used to keep going, keep trying, keep forcing, keep going until you persevere, which isn't wrong. But this is another way to go around it, is that when you can't think it out, get out of thinking. When you are overwhelmed, when you are stressing out and you feel like you can't keep going, take a moment to stop. Take a moment to take a deep breath before you do anything and still your mind first. It's a small step in the right direction, but it starts from your mind. Because when you still the mind, you can begin a change like this. If you still your mind becomes positive. Your mind becomes calmer over time. It settles down by itself. It's like boiling water. If you turn off the stove, your mind will start to cool down on its own if you give it time for it to happen. So when your mind is cooled down, when your mind is settled down, it starts to become positive. It's like the debris or the dust in the water settling down and leaving you with clear water. So your mind can become positive again. When your mind is positive, what you say, what you do, all becomes positive. And of course, when you do something positive repeatedly, it becomes a positive habit. And if you do something as a habit your whole life, it leads you on a more positive destiny. So actually, you may have the question in your mind, are we born with a destiny or can we change our destiny? The answer is yes to both. We may have a destiny that we're born for, like we're destined to be good at something, right? We're born good at singing, for example. But if you want to change your destiny, it begins with your mind to make it either better or you want to change it to something else. It all starts from your mind. Because if you don't have a positive mind, this whole chain reaction goes in a different way. So the key thing to take away from tonight is that stillness of mind can become the miracle that you're looking for. It's that positive change or that start in the right direction comes from within. It doesn't come from outside, it comes from within. So we have to look in the right place and allow that change or that miracle that's already inside of you to come out, to blossom. It's kind of a lot like a lotus flower because your mind is, right now, when we close our mind or close our eyes, it's dark, right? It's like the lotus flower that's in the mud, first stage of a lotus flower. It's planted in the mud. But as you relax, as you release, as you calm down, the flower starts to grow, gets into the water, and eventually gets to the surface. And once it gets to the surface and blossoms, you can feel the sun. You can feel the happiness. You can feel the bliss that can come from a mind that's still. So the key thing to get to that stage is to declutter your mind. The way you declutter your mind is by relaxing. It may be a new term for you because when you hear about meditation, we think about mindfulness, awareness, being present, these things. These are all correct as well, but you also have to have both. You need to be mindful of your relaxation. So when you're mindful of your relaxation, how you feel relaxed about body and mind, that means you're in the going, you have both. You're mindful that right now I am relaxed, I am comfortable, I don't need anything, I'm good. As you do that, it helps to settle your mind down. So when we meditate in the beginning, our mind is very dark, like this. But as we start to relax, as we start to let go, it starts to clear out this clutter automatically. It like settles down. It's like the water that you put the glass down, right? And if there's any debris in the water, if you don't disturb it, if you don't mix it, eventually it's going to settle or separate by itself, just like oil and water, right? If you it comes together a little bit, but if you stop mixing it and you put it down, it will separate on its own. So the same idea is that when we close our eyes, all of us start like this, it's dark. But as we start to relax, it starts to clear and the clutter in our mind out. More space, more space, more space, until our mind gets lighter. It feels less of a burden. So our mind becomes lighter and lighter. And it's a lighter feeling that we can feel for ourselves and also begin to see what is it like for our mind to be brighter, lighter, and free from those burdens. And that's why I want everyone to know that when you meditate, it's a way to find a new happiness or a true happiness that comes from inside of you, that's independent of everything. It comes from within you. So the key thing is don't let the darkness hide the brightness within you. We have a brightness, which is a happiness in you, but how do we have to have a comfortable body and mind. These two things. It's the beginning of all this. It's very simple, but we kind of ignore these two things a lot when we meditate, and we try to do an old technique. So the key thing is how follows and understands themselves well, observes themselves well, and makes sure that, how is my body feeling? It's kind of like you have to be a good listener. Practice being a good listener, because your body and your mind is going to tell you when you're practicing or when you're listening to the guided meditation in just a moment that, or if you have any other techniques that for those of you who have meditated before, you can apply the same thing to what you've learned in the past, is that whatever technique you use, whatever method you use, is it helping your body and mind to stay comfortable and relaxed? Not just mindful. Mindful is part of it. But the key thing is relaxation. Because in order to let go of something, it's like I'm holding on to something. I can be mindful I'm holding on to it, but I never let go. In order to let go of something, you need to be mindful that I'm holding on to it. And how do I let go of it? I need to release. How do you release? You have to relax. It's not about tension or tightness or keeping your fist. So you need to relax, to release, to let go. And as you let go, the things you're holding on to, the past, the future, everything else in your mind, as you relax, you release, you let go, now you can pick up what's already inside of you. Now you can see what's already inside of you and feel it. So it all starts with relaxation. And the key thing is, as you meditate, listen, in order to learn, you need to listen. It's like two people talking. If you're having a conversation, if both of you talk at the same time, no one's going to really understand what the other person is saying, right? You have to be silent to learn. So your mind is kind of the same. Not actually very similar. If your mind is calm and relaxed and quiet, you'll start to listen and hear what's happening in your mind and see what's happening in your mind and feel what's happened, always been there. So to get to that stage is simply to relax and allow it to come out. So as we sit today, remember that stop is the key to success. But before we get to stopping, before we get to stillness, it begins the moment you start to relax. The moment you start to relax, something special will start to happen automatically. Is that process is happening. Every second, every moment that you feel start to relax is your meditation is starting. So don't feel like, oh, I need to hurry, or I need to dive in, or, I see everyone next to me, they close their eyes already and I still don't feel ready to start. It's not a race. It's not a race. When you close your eyes, we're all in our own world. But the key thing is that when you sit down and you close your eyes, or when you start your meditation actually starts the moment you start to relax your body and your mind. So it starts from your body first. The moment you adjust yourself, you take some time to find a comfortable position. Maybe one of us or some of us to get up and go to the bathroom for a moment and come back is okay. The moment you start the process of relaxation, the moment your mind is starting to go inside and starting its process to that meditation journey. So it shouldn't feel like we need to do too much. And during the meditation, just remind yourself, am I stopping? Am I on that path to being still? Or am I still overthinking? Or am I still expecting? Am I still all these different things that is not opposite of stopping? The moment you stop, it's like the reflection will be clear. If you keep moving, if mentally, don't worry about, if I'm uncomfortable, you can move the better. Because if you're uncomfortable, it's like you're still moving. It's like you're fidgeting, right? If you don't feel comfortable, you can't sit still. That's also mentally and physically. So remember that if you need to adjust, if you need to get comfortable again, don't hesitate, don't be shy, just do it. If you're meditating at the center and you have some friends around you and you're worried that you may be noisy, just be a little bit mindful to not be noisy. But other than that, be free to adjust. It's okay, because the sooner you come back to being comfortable, both the mind and body, the sooner your mind will get to that stillness. Remember that. This is the key thing. This is the shortcut to meditate well. So for those of us who it's our first time, if you apply this correctly in the beginning, you may meditate even better than someone who's been meditating for 20 years, but they don't apply this method. So, as I said, stop is the key to success. So let's take some time to practice it. And remember that listen to your body and your mind, what makes you comfortable, not just what makes you mindful. It has to go together, okay? So in just a moment, I would like to invite all of us to light the candle, right? Just as a symbol of our journey beginning. And then when we have a chance, we can meditate together and find that candle or find that inner brightness that's within you already, okay? So without further ado, I would like to invite everyone. And when you're ready and when you feel comfortable, please come back and sit down. So now that we have all taken the time to light the candle on the outside, let's use that as a symbol to find the inner light within ourselves. It's always been there. Just like the sun, just like the full moon. It's always in the sky, waiting for the right moment, the right time for us to feel and see it. In order to get to that feeling and get to that brightness within you, it's simple. Take it easy, take it slow. A few moments to adjust our body, to find a comfortable sitting position, whether you're sitting on the floor, in the chair, or wherever. Make sure the position we're sitting in is comfortable. As we close our eyes softly, naturally, as if we're going to sleep. Reminding ourselves whether it's our first time or we've been meditating for many times. Reminding ourselves that it's time to rest, time to relax, a time to rest our body and truly rest our mind. The way we do this is by first allowing ourselves to relax our body, because the relaxation of the body is the foundation. It will help our meditation to be smoother and easier. As we build this foundation of relaxation, it will help to support and make the rest of the meditation deeper. So please don't rush and allow yourself to check, to observe, to relax and release all the muscles in our body, from our head all the way down to our feet. Allowing ourselves to make sure that we have no tension or tightness that may be hidden in our body. An easy and helpful way is just to breathe in deeply and exhale slowly a few times. Take a moment to appreciate how relaxing breathing can be as we feel our breath, letting go of everything, everyone, all our responsibilities, and simply focusing on our breath. Breathing in the relaxation, soothing, calming, relaxing. And as we breathe out, allowing all the tension or any hidden stress or tightness in our body to release, to come out, to fade away. We may do this a few times. And as we do this, we may notice that our body will start to get lighter. This is the power of relaxation. The more we relax, the more we release, the more we let go, physically and mentally. As our body becomes more relaxed, we can put a small smile on our face. A smile to accept, a smile to welcome the relaxation that is happening, and to be appreciative and proud of yourself that you've taken the time to help yourself, to become the better version of yourself by first taking care of our mind. Now that our body is as relaxed as we can be, we can softly and gently come to our mind to check, to bring our mind back to a place of comfort, a place of safety, a place, but also feel relaxed and calm. We can bring our mind back within ourselves to a special point in the center of our body. But for most of us, we can also start for where we feel comfortable. We can start anywhere we like. using any method we enjoy, as long as that method helps us to be mindful, but most importantly, relax. So for some of us, we may want to use a mantra, repeating in our mind softly, gently, or at whatever pace we feel comfortable with. We can try to use the mantra Samma Arahang. Samma Arahang. Samma Arahang. Allowing the sound of the mantra to resonate, to repeat, to replay, almost like a lullaby, helping to soothe and calm your mind, calling it back to the present, calling it back inside. Or for some of us, if we find ourselves more visual, we can also try to visualize an image of our choice. Picking an image that we are familiar with. We can imagine the full moon, for example, or the candle that we've just lit, a star, a crystal sphere, something that is easy and simple to imagine. We can imagine it however we like, wherever we like, as a starting point. But the key thing is to imagine it in a way that you can feel it rather than see it. Don't worry about the clarity, because everyone, when we meditate in the beginning, the image won't be clear. It's about staying with the image consistently, comfortably, contently, and that image will get clear on its own. So for example, if you imagine your candle, try to feel the brightness, the warmness, the heat of that candle shining. You can imagine it that it's in front of you, or maybe you're holding it in your lap, and you can feel the brightness and the warmness in your hands. Or you can imagine it within you, shining, making you feel warm and content in the center of your body. Or you can even be playful and imagine the moon, feeling the moon as if it's a cool ice cube. Feeling the presence, or even feeling like the moon is small and you swallowed it within yourself. And you can feel the moon cool and bright within you. The key thing here is to visualize in a way that keeps you entertained, keeps you mindful, but also relaxed. Or for some of us, if our mind is extra busy, that's okay. We can use the mantra and the visualization together. As we visualize, we can repeat Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang, Samma Arahang. Whatever method we use, we need to listen to our body and our mind. Follow what makes you comfortable, relaxed, at ease. As we continue to relax and follow that feeling of comfort, it may be small or big. Or for some of us, we may even feel neutral, and that's okay. As long as we can sit mentally and physically without any pain or any distraction, where we can feel for ourselves that the meditation is becoming more smooth, more relaxing, more calming. This is how we can measure in the right path, practicing in the right direction. Because remember, stop is the key to success. The way to stop and still our mind is by first relaxing. So every moment, every second matters. Where you feel relaxed of both body and mind. Every second that passes by, our meditation is growing, improving. Every mindful moment is a miracle as we bring our mind back to its original state. Back to the true happiness that's inside of you, shining like the full moon, even brighter than anything in this world. The mind that is awake, the mind that is illuminated, is the mind that is free from the past and the future, and truly in the present moment. All we need to do is continue to relax, to release, and connect to that feeling within you. It's already there. It just may be covered a little bit, covered by the clutter, by the clouds in our mind, by the greed, by the anger, by the delusion that we all have in our mind. But as we relax, as we release, all the negativity in our mind will start to settle. It will begin to disappear on its own. As the relaxation will be like the wind of clarity, helping to push away those clouds, to reveal the happiness that we never knew was within us. So for now, let's continue to relax, to release both our body and our mind. Every second, our mind is becoming more mindful, more clear, more bright, more positive. Whether or not we see anything or not is not important. The most important thing right now is our feeling of comfort of body and mind. So please feel free at any moment to adjust if you feel uncomfortable. We can move our body or mentally if we need to change methods or we need to let go for a moment and do nothing. It all depends on how we feel. So trust in yourself. Trust in your feeling. And follow what makes you stay comfortable, relax, consistently, contently for the rest of the meditation. So let us continue to meditate together in silence.
Hi, Venerable. Please unmute the mic.
สัพเพพุทธาภลปัตตาปัจเจกานังชยังพลังอรหันตานาเตเชนรคังพันธาเมสัพพโสสัพพพุทธานุภาเวนะสัพพธัมมานุภาเวนะสัพพสังฆานุภาเวนะสัทธาโสธีภวันตุเตBy the positivity generated in this meditation, may that positivity bless you in every way. And when you're ready, you may slowly and gently open your eyes. Okay, so welcome back. I hope everyone had a good meditation or had some moments of relaxation. So please be happy with yourself, especially if it's your first time. If you feel some moments of relaxation, it's already a success. Maybe it didn't last a long time, but just having that moment is a good step in the right direction, because for the last many years in our life, we never had a moment of quiet, a moment of relaxation mentally. So even if you had that moment, it's a good step in the right direction. And if you have one moment, there'll be a next moment, and the next moment, it'll add up. Once you find that moment, the next moment will come. It's like a chain reaction. So keep practicing, keep going. And yes, I'm sorry about the ending. I was a little bit muted, but as long as you had some good sign. So please continue to meditate, not only on full moons, but also every day. And realize that the full moon of happiness and relaxation is inside of you. You can access it anytime, anywhere. But sometimes it's covered by you don't have to blame too many people, but look at yourself first. And if you keep it as like a habit, when your mind is busy, when your mind is dirty, we need to meditate. It's kind of like your body. We know what it feels like to be clean. So when we get dirty, we get sweaty, we get uncomfortable, we try to make it comfortable. I want everyone to make that habit for you mentally as well. Now that you're starting to know what it feels like to be mentally clean, mentally relaxed, remind yourself throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the year as you're going around your life, that you don't need to wait to rest in peace. You can learn to live in peace day by day as you meditate, as you sit down, and just be mindful. Many people know about meditation, about being mindful. So be mindful of how you feel and how you're feeling mentally. And if it feels down, go and meditate for a moment. Even a moment, it helps. Okay? So thank you, everyone. And I'd like to hand it over back to our lovely moderator, Miss B.
Thank you, Monk Daniel. That was such a lovely meditation. I feel like all I have to do is just follow your guidance, and it's just very easy to stabilize and still my mind. So thank you so much for that beautiful meditation. And even the end, I just felt like we got more meditation. And then you did give us that blessing, so nothing was missed. So thank you, Venerable Daniel. With regards to announcements, please mark your calendar for our next full moon meditation session. It's going to be on a Friday this time next month, November 15th, actually. So please mark that down. Invite your friends and family. This is such a great opportunity, especially since it's something that we can do online. In fact, there's someone from the Philippines that joined. People all around the world are joining. It is it's so amazing that we can all meditate under in the same room when you close your eyes. So the more people that meditate, the more powerful the experience is. And even at your own home, you can be a virtuous friend. You can ask your family to join, your friends, instead of, doing something like a dinner or anything like that. Come and meditate together. It's such a great, productive thing that we can do. So yes, our next one's going to be November 15th on a Friday. For those of you, if this is your first full moon meditation session with us, we do like to get feedback to find out how we're doing, how we can improve. So we've got a QR code for you to help give us feedback. And then again, for anyone who's joined us before, if there's anything that you want to share, this is a great opportunity to do so. So there's our QR code. And then also when you X out of the Zoom meeting as well, it'll pop up the questionnaire. And then another thing, our app, we've got an app called MindGem. We have over 200 tracks at this point in time. It's pretty amazing how we've got so many amazing teachers that continue to add guided meditation for us and wisdom talks. So if you don't already have it, please do download the app MindGem. In addition to that, it's a great way to stay connected to all of our upcoming full moon meditation sessions, since notifications are sent via the app. We also have a website that you can look through as well. In addition to local centers near you, simply just go to locations and you can find out if there's a center near you. That way you can meditate on site as well if you'd like. Other online meditation sessions that we've got Mind Stories, we've got Late Night with Monk Clint, we've got Peacetime. So we've got so many ways to help encourage people to stay committed to their meditation practice. So do take advantage of all of our resources. And then at this time, my favorite part is our Q&A, and we already have a couple questions queued up, Monk Daniel. So let me pull it up here. So we've got a couple questions from Sage. The first question is, this was asked earlier. Sage says that I feel like a lot of problems due to not stopping your desires can come from our egos, pushing ourselves too much. Do you feel like ego can impact ourselves with relation to impulses, and can changes to our ego push ourselves for the better?
Hmm. It sounds like Sage has been meditating for a while. It's a good question, and it's coming out from a place of wisdom because, of course, our ego and everything else can really impact our meditation and also our success in life, especially, right? Ego comes in the way a lot in life. If you have a big ego, sometimes it can lead you into trouble when you actually nothing was going to happen, but you can put your ego down and you can accept it. So one of our great meditation masters, she was a nun, and she said that sometimes on the outside it looks like she's losing, but in the inside she is winning, which means in some situations when you get into an argument or you get into a conflict, some people kind of like fight back right away, but she would do the opposite. She would let the other person kind of like unload, and then when it's the right time or the right moment to respond, she will respond. And out of a place of where the mind is still and in its best state. So when we meditate, as we have to apply what we talked about today, is stop is the key to success, which means everything that we can stop that's negative, ego being one of those things. So as we relax, as we let go, those things will start to kind of fade down automatically. The more we meditate, the less our ego would be. It'll go down, 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 down. And eventually we can eliminate it to where we're kind of, our mind is back to a clear and pure state where there's nothing, there's no bias, it's actually just the truth of your mind that is It's kind of like distilled water, where you get out all the impurities and you just have water, similar to that. So as we meditate more and more, we'll understand that we can conquer all those things that are inside of us. And that's why the Buddha mentioned it, that the best victory for anyone in this life is the person who can control and conquer their mind. And that's the first and most important victory. But as we sit down and we meditate every day, it's a victory in itself. It's an ongoing battle that we all have to deal with. Our mind is, it's this Halloween season, our mind is infected with greed, anger, delusion, and many negative things. It's the true monster that's inside of us. It's not in your closet, it's not under your bed, it's not lurking in the darkness somewhere outside, it's lurking within you. So as we meditate, it helps to win that battle inside and keep those monsters at bay.
Wow, that was really good, Monk Daniel. How perfect in terms of the timing too. That's so true. I actually never really thought about like that, but yeah, that actually does make a lot of sense. The monsters are our defilements that's within us, which is the greed, anger, and delusion. So we do have questions that have trickled in here at the Georgia Meditation Center. The first question, and I hope I can read it. It's a little the handwriting, but I'll give it a try. When you reach that point between slumber and relaxation, what techniques can I practice to keep that state?
First of all, that's a great point that you reached, where you can feel for yourself, oh, what is it? Because deep meditation is exactly like you mentioned, that it's a fine line between falling asleep and not actually being very mindful and relaxed. So for most of us, a lot of times we kind of drift into the sleep because it's so relaxing, our mind is so free, our body is comfortable, so it's very easy to slip into the sleeping. First of all, if any of us fall into that, don't worry, it's okay. The only way to really maintain that feeling is to get to it often. This is the thing that we have to accept. I guess it comes back to our ego and our want and our desire. It comes as a hindrance now that we have this good feeling, so we want to maintain it. But we have to go back to square one and realize that stop is the key to success. So we can't try to maintain it, but we have to make our mind attract that feeling often, and that feeling will come by itself. You have to think of the feeling, that state, as a feeling you want to attract to you. So what are the qualities or the qualities that will attract that feeling back? So you have to kind of retrace your steps and go back to not the result of what happened, but what was the method you used to get there? What was the method that you used to get there? And repeat that method again. When that stillness or that feeling, that fine line that you mentioned disappears and goes away by itself, we don't have to be frustrated, we don't have to panic, we don't have to feel upset with ourselves. Just go back to square one and, oh, what did I do to get to that feeling? And replicate it again. And that's why I always say that the hardest thing of meditation is not the method, but is being consistent. That feeling is something you have to build up. It's kind of like a muscle. Your mind can only stay that still or stay that quiet for a couple seconds, a couple minutes in the beginning. So as we practice more and more, that's why consistency is so important, because it builds up that feeling, not feeling, but it builds up the ability to maintain that feeling or attract that feeling longer and longer. So it's kind of like, if you often, how can we make our foundation stronger to attract that feeling again? That's what we have to focus on. It's like making your garden have flowers, and then the butterfly will come. So it doesn't make sense for you. So, okay.
So Longpi, and maybe Sage, you can clarify a little bit more if Monk Daniel needs more information with regards to this question. But all I have is it a natural force within ourselves that we would fight off, like that our inner demons are also fighting the angels that also exist in our mind's eye?
You can think of it similar to that. I mean, our inner demons is just our mind that's you can think of it whether what is influencing us. So if it's those negative emotions, it's like the demons within ourselves or the monsters in ourselves, that if they are in control, it makes our speech, makes our actions, makes our habits all down that being influenced by those emotions that are negative. But if we switch it, it's like we go back into a positive state and we do things, say things in a positive way. So really, it is a constant battle, and it's what are you gonna tune into, or what are you gonna allow to influence you? And for so many people, we don't realize that we can control that, what we're being influenced by, and we kind of just go with the flow or go with what's happening in that moment. And that's why one of the benefits of meditation is mindfulness, that we hear about so often, is being mindful of what is happening in your mind and what's influencing your mind. And if it's a bad thing, how can we change the channel or change our focus from that? When we feel angry, for example, first step is noticing it's there. It's kind of like, if you notice it's there, you can deal with it. But if you don't notice it's there, then it's controlling you. So as we meditate more and more, you'll notice that it's there, and change it if it's a negative thing to what makes you feel positive.
Thank you, Monk Daniel. So we have another question that came here at the Georgia Meditation Center. This one's going to be a good one, P. So I'm looking forward to hearing your answer. The question is very simple. Why must all creatures suffer?
Great wisdom for you to be able to reflect on that. What is making everyone suffer, and why do people have to suffer? To put it simply, it's because the suffering begins in our mind. And if we don't deal with it, that suffering can get out of control. And when people who have uncontrollable minds, and they are influenced again by those negative things, I mean, everyone has the potential to be a monster, or you can think of, or anyone can have the potential to be a very wonderful person. But it all depends on what does your mind, how is your mind, and what does that make you say and do. And so, we all have cases, and we see in the news, oh, how can someone do such a horrible thing? It's someone who can't control their mind, and their mind goes down that dark path. So the best way to deal with suffering is, first, what we're doing right now is meditating and making our mind more clear, more calm, more positive over time. And it's something you have to do constantly until you can uproot that feeling within you. That's what we call enlightenment in meditation, right? Is that you uproot those negativities in your mind. And it can take a long time, but for now, we don't have to worry about uprooting it. We can work on slowly cleaning it step by step by step. And as we clean it step by step by step, we'll notice that, oh, I can actually deal with these negativities in our mind. And you'll notice that after you meditate, when you open your eyes, the world is a little bit brighter. No one turned up the brightness in the world, but you're looking at the world with a new perspective. That new perspective comes from a mind that is more clean, it's like you're wearing glasses the whole time, and those glasses are dirty. And the moment you clean them, then you can start to see, oh, actually, that's what it really looks like. The same situation, but new perspective. But it starts from your mind. So if you want to eliminate all this suffering and why people are suffering, they have to eliminate it within themselves mentally. And it's going to help the whole world to be better. Because when people have infected minds that are building on that suffering, then they make other people suffer. And it's a chain reaction. So all the suffering in this world from everyone's own inner world. And then that inner world expands out, shines out from inside. So if everyone practiced meditation and lowered their inner suffering and start to feel the happiness that's also inside, the world will change very quickly. But what we see now in the world is a result of people who aren't dealing with their suffering inside.
Wow, thank you so much, Venerable Daniel. That was very profound, and that's why it's world peace through inner peace. And that's why we try to encourage everyone to invite other people to meditate, because meditation is so powerful and it all comes from within. Our actions are a result of how we feel inside. And if everyone meditated, there'd just be more inner peace and more happiness and more love. So that's why we encourage everyone to please definitely invite your friends and family. No excuses anymore. We're getting towards the end of the year. The more people meditating with us, the more powerful it's going to be. So our next session again is Friday, November 19th. Hopefully this is going to be inspiration to try to invite everyone you know to come meditate with us. So with that, we do have another question, Monk Daniel. This is a question from Alone, I think Alona is her name. And the question is, please explain for super beginners, is it to have no thoughts for that split second in meditation, or is the goal to not think for a long time as much as I could? I think that was the question. I kind of paraphrased it a little bit.
Yes, the goal is not think, but to get to not thinking, we need to relax. So the key thing is, how can I relax? How can I try to let it go? And then we'll get to that not thinking. And that not thinking, it may last for a split second. And then when we start to think again, okay, go back to the method that helped you to calm down. And as we repeat that process, we start to stay, the not thinking will become longer and longer. It's kind of like before you can only run like 100 meters. And as you start to run every day, you'll start to be able to run further and further and further and further, or stay stiller longer and longer and longer. But for now, but you can't start from doing nothing if you're not mentally calm yet. So you start from doing something. Use something to get you to doing nothing, and switch between those two. So it's kind of like riding a bike or driving a car. You know, sometimes you need to press the gas and sometimes you don't. Similar to that.
So Monk Daniel, before people log off, I was wrong on the date. Thank you so much. Someone pointed it out. And it's my eyesight. It's getting worse with age. So sometimes I don't see correctly. So it's November 15th is the Friday next month. It is going to be on a Friday, but it's going to be on the 15th, not the 19th. So FYI correction on that. So please do come join us. All right. So the next question, Monk Daniel, is let me see, I have to pull it up here. And okay, how to stay motivated in order to meditate?
Yeah, it's a good question because it's kind of like exercise. How can I exercise every day? But for me, it's about thinking about what's important. You need something. Look at the benefits that can inspire you, but also you have to think of it of what's important to you. What are the things that you love, right? It has to come out of a place of love. You know, when you love something, you make time for it. There's no excuse, right? You do it because you love it. It's a passion of yours. And that can be hard to make meditation a passion. So think of, okay, what is things that I love, right? Okay, I love my family. I want to be the best version of myself. I want to take care of them, right? I want to be a good person to them, or I want to do good in my work, or I want to do good in my profession, or for those of us who do sports, or for example, all these things that you want to do good in order to do good in them, it has to start from your mind. right now we may do well, but imagine if your mind was more calm, more powerful, more calm and collected. You may even do even better than what you're doing now. So if you want to improve on every aspect of your life, the key is your mind. So you can use it as a motivation to, if I put my mind in the right place, the rest of my life will fall into place easier. If my mind is more positive, if my mind is clear and bright, I can do anything successfully and easily. And this is something that is very true. Maybe you don't believe me yet, but go and practice it and see, oh, if I take like 5 minutes to meditate before I have a meeting and see what happens. Is the meeting more quick and concise? Is the meeting more calm and happy? See the difference. When I don't meditate and I have a meeting, and I meditate and have a meeting, is there a difference? Or you can see it in your life in different aspects. So yeah, it's all about, think of it as this is that I want to be the best version of myself. And the best version of myself starts from my mind. So use that as a motivation. And don't worry about the time too. And don't be too hard on yourself. And I need to meditate for an hour in one go, or for a second. Do sit often for how long you feel comfortable. So if you want to sit for 5 minutes and stop, okay. Be easier, step by step. Don't pressure yourself too hard. Like, oh, today, 200 pounds. Like you start, maybe I start from 5 pounds first. Okay, same thing